Well, the federal government is tabling new labor legislation today. As we've been discussing, the bill would ban employers from bringing in replacement workers during a strike in federally regulated workplaces, among other things. This legislation is a key NDP demand in their deal to support the minority Liberals. The CBC's Janice McGregor is in Ottawa for us with more on this. Okay, tell us more about what this bill is designed to do.
It was remarkable earlier today as this was introduced in the House of Commons, and then people came out in the foyer to talk about it, not just the minister, but also the leader of the NDP and a number of very senior members of Canada's labour movement, the very biggest of the bigs, actually, alongside a lot of MPs, all out to sort of take credit for the way that working together, they said, they were able to come up with legislation that significantly increases the power of workers at the bargaining table in the face of threats by employers to replace them and thereby undermine their negotiating power. This legislation is going to apply to workplaces under federal jurisdiction, federally regulated industries. So we're talking here financial services, banking, telecoms. Interesting because there are a number of strikes, lockouts happening in that right now. Rogers, Videotron, for example, have workers who are out right now. Also, the transportation sector, if you look at kind of recent disputes with railways, with airlines, the key kind of disruptions to supply chains that we have seen, this all becomes very important for the economic stability of this country. Labour Minister Seamus O'Regan has been working hard to try to get deals at the negotiating table that he says will last, that is a better approach than legislating away these labour disputes. And he said this bill he's now introducing and this ban on replacement workers or scabs is another important part of giving some economic certainty and stability for the days ahead.
I'm copying and pasting every labor dispute and tweeting out, focus on the table, focus on the table. There's a reason for that. It's where the deals get done. And I need them focusing on that. I don't need them focusing on hiring people to appear on TV shows to tell me to get ahead with back to work legislation. I think I proved in BC, I'm not going to listen to that. You're all paid good money to sit around that table and find a deal. And if you find a deal, it will last. So, this is about the stability and certainty that comes with not being distracted by anything other than finding a solution at the table.
These new rules will take effect 18 months after the bill receives royal assent. Now, there is some suggestion that there might be some amendments coming, so exactly how long it'll take for this bill to become law is an open question, and we'll see how the parliamentary process goes. I should also say, though, not everyone keen to see this happen. The Canadian Federation of Independent Business already out with a release saying that they believe this is going to prolong the duration, increase the frequency of strikes. They said provincial jurisdictions that have similar rules in place for workplaces under their jurisdiction, Quebec and BC, have experienced more strikes than other jurisdictions. It puts too much hands in the power of large unions, they say, and they say that this is something Liberals are doing for political reasons, not because it's necessary. So we will see as the day goes on what the opposition says about that.
And now, Janice, the NDP, of course, have been asking for this type of legislation for years. You can't help but think, confidence in supply agreement. Why is it happening now?
Exactly. As you say, when they put to paper their conditions for continuing to support the Liberals in this minority parliament, this was very important for New Democrats. Now, Liberals put this in their election campaign platform. It's not that they weren't looking to do this. Of course, they do have allies in the Labour movement as well. And I think a testament of that was the way that Labour leaders were keen to stand alongside not just New Democrats, but Liberals today, really playing kind of both sides of the progressive spectrum. Nevertheless, NDP leader Jagmeet Singh really suggesting that the Liberals were not prepared to do this until the NDP put pressure on them. Here's Jagmeet Singh.
I want to make one thing really clear. The Liberals would never have done this. They would have never tabled this legislation, but for the fact that New Democrats and Labour together fought to make this happen.
One thing to watch, though, because the Conservatives, too, have been trying to increase their appeal for unionized blue-collar workers, especially trying to work on their relationship with private sector unions. How are Conservatives going to play this? Everybody is kind of fighting to be the champion of the populist working man right now. That is kind of where the action is in terms of Canadian electoral politics. So this bill, smart policy reasons to do this economically, but also a keen eye on the partisan interests at play as well.
For this, Janice, that is the CBC's Janice McGregor reporting for us in Ottawa.